Hello my friends, Rotodil here. Today I want to tell you about one of the most interesting phones that I've checked recently, and actually this phone has quite a story. This is the POCO X5 Pro, and the POCO series for me is huge because it's the reason I'm actually still using Xiaomi's phone. I've been using the first POCO when it came out, and now I got the chance to test the POCO X5 Pro, and I've been using it for the past 2 weeks. So I already have everything unboxed and, as you can see right now, usable. This is the phone itself. It's the POCO X5 Pro. The screen here looks amazing. It's a 6.7 inch. It has a 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, which looks really awesome. I'm just gonna show you guys. And it's extremely fast too, even though it's a budget phone. Now I'm gonna talk about my performance scores in a moment, but I just wanna show you guys how fast it is. And I'm actually using these kind of phones to edit my videos, and I actually play games like Genshin Impact. So if you're like me, you're playing games, you're editing videos, you run a lot of apps, this phone already, I can tell you guys, gets the job done. Now let's do a really quick showcase of what you're going to get in the box. This is the X5 Pro box from POCO. As you can see, I already have the phone, and one of the things I really like about Xiaomi's phones is that you get everything that you need inside the box. So I already got the cover, as you can see here, installed on my phone. The phone itself weighs at around 188 grams. It's not a heavyweight phone. It's a big thing. Nobody talks about weight in these reviews for some reason. So I'm the guy who tells you that, hey, anything below 200 grams is great when you want to hold a phone that doesn't weigh as much. So all in all, we also get this quick charger, which is a 67 watts. This will get your phone charged in 50 minutes. So that's an amazing charger. And we get the quick start guide and a SIM extractor. So all in all, anything that you really need is inside the box. Now, before I go into my performance results, which is a huge thing if you're buying a budget phone that costs at around $400, $500, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you'll see my future gadget reviews. All I do here is talk about my experiences as honestly as I can with you guys. So definitely click on the red subscribe button if you want to see more of my adventures, because I have some cool stuff coming up. So I want to pass through and just show you the results I got, and we'll also talk about the camera and any results that I got while taking videos and pictures. So obviously, as you can see, I've tested around 22 phones during the past year. The Xiaomi POCO X5 is at around number 15 when you talk about performance, because it has the Snapdragon 778G. Now I've seen the better CPU or processor on the Nothing Phone 1, which has the Plus version of that, but the benchmarks are not that big. I mean, the difference in benchmarks are not that big. So I got over 500,000 points in Antutu. That's good enough to run all of your games, trust me, at high settings. And that's a great thing that I got with this phone. I obviously got some other results here, as you can see, with 3D Mark, which are not bad. It's not the best. Flagship are gonna get you around 58 frames per second on the 3D Mark wildlife test. I got 14.8. It's not as good, obviously. It's even, I would say, not mid-range, as mid-range for me at least last year was around 30 frames per second, but that's enough to get most games running. And I actually tested all of my favorite games, including Genshin Impact, and they run great. So another thing that I actually found out while using this phone is that you don't really get it to heat that much. I got 33 degrees up from 28. That's a 5-degree difference. It's not as much as I got with flagship phones, with phones with the new Snapdragon Gen 8, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 or Gen 2, which really heat up a lot. And also the battery here is solid. It's a 5,000 milliamps battery. You have the operating system here, which is MIUI, which I like, but it does come up with some of the garbage apps that you get pre-installed. So I'm just going to show you guys what I mean. When you do get this phone, you'll see that one of the folders over here is basically they arranged all the garbage in this folder. So you're going to get more apps and you're going to get the games. These two got pre-installed when you start clean with this phone, and that means you're going to have to do some work when you get it to uninstall all of this stuff or garbage apps. Okay, so I do want to talk about the storage settings here. I got the 256 gigabytes version with the 8 gigabyte RAM, as you can see. And this phone doesn't have an extra SD card slot. That means that you're kind of stuck with the storage you're buying. So I would definitely get this phone with 256 gigabytes and not the lesser version or the smaller version. I want to talk about the camera array. We do have an ultra wide camera here, which is great at this budget, but it's an 8 megapixel. I'm going to show you the results I got with it in a moment. And also you get a good solid primary camera, not the biggest sensor, which means that in low light settings you are not going to get the best results. But instead of talking about it, let's just show you my results. So as you can see, I took a bunch of photos while using this phone during the past couple of weeks. The primary camera here is great. It's a 108 megapixels, and as you can see, you do get blurry background when taking photos with it and focusing, and that's amazing. The ultra wide, on the other hand, is not as good. When I do zoom in, you'll see that there is not much of the details that you usually see when you zoom in on a high quality high megapixel camera, and that's because this is an 8 megapixel one. And you also have a macro camera over here, which I don't even really want to bother to use. It's a 2 megapixel one. It's not usable, at least for me, to do anything. I mean, 2 megapixel nowadays is not enough. So I actually want to say here that even if you can get a phone and you actually use a lot of ultra wide cameras, probably want to choose something that has more than 8 megapixels, because when zooming in on the ultra wide, you'll see that it doesn't get the job done. So moving on, primary camera gets the job done really good. I mean, blurry background everywhere, as you can see. That's actually a 2x zoom on the primary camera. There's no zoom camera on this. And ultra wide again. Some more photos with the primary camera. High quality camera, I like it a lot. Good results with it. Even here, as you can see, was in an event and I got some really nice photos. So we got a bunch of photos over here. We got the ultra wide. And as you can see, when you zoom in, you don't get that details that you would want to have, while the primary camera does let you get some more details when you zoom in. And that's good enough for social media or anything else. Another high quality photo of the primary camera. And as you guys might know, I actually created a simulator that I invite people with disabilities and children that have special needs to fly with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's the place. Then I actually took some low light photos over here. That place is really dark. And this phone actually performed really well. I mean, the primary camera, as you can see, does have some noise and some blurriness, but it's good enough photo to share on social media. The ultra wide didn't get the job done. You can see the blurriness. I can barely read over here the text. So yeah, ultra wide doesn't get the job done because the sensor is too small, sadly. So moving on, some more photos of low light scenario, another ultra wide one, which you can see that doesn't get the job done. Some more of my friends, and yeah, that's it. So we did see the low light. Let's go outside. As you can see over here, I have some couple of photos over here. I have the primary camera, which you can zoom in on and really get good results. Ultra wide, not that much. We did talk about it, but primary camera gets the job done. And actually, you'll see my photo over here. I like it. I like the Xiaomi colors. I like the Xiaomi processing. A bit of a blurry background, not as much because of the sensor size. And another thing is this. I'm just showing you the video quality on this camera. This is a 4K video. This is the primary camera. Stabilization is digital, but it looks good. I really like what I'm getting here, and I would definitely use this video if I want to use it, just to share on social media or even make some YouTube videos. Very sharp video and not a lot of focus jumps because of the face detect. So here I'm actually talking in my native language, so I'm gonna save you on that, but the microphone sounds good. And also you'll see that this is with sunlight on the sensor of the camera. This is the selfie camera video, and I'm actually thinking that this is really surprising. I mean, you do get some blurry background on this, and the video looks good. It's not a 4K video, it's a 1080p, and this is what you're gonna get with this camera. So all in all, That's it, guys. The POCO X5 Pro. I've been using it for a couple of weeks. I definitely recommend it. I definitely got good results with it. I definitely got a phone that, for a budget, gets me a lot. Negatives: not high megapixels on the ultra wide, no zoom camera, but the processor's not the best, but still gets you anything you'll need to edit 1080p or Full HD videos, and definitely to get the job done while playing any games that currently you'll have on the market. So all in all, I recommend this phone if you do count on the negatives that I've mentioned. Subscribe for more video reviews and click like if you enjoyed my current review. I'll see you on my future videos. I have some cool phone coming up you don't want to miss out on, so definitely subscribe. Some more gadget recommendations on my sites, and I'll see you soon.